full of feeling, cares about the welfare of others as a person as much as oneself, empathy, noticing, thoughtfulness, caring. Words associated with fatherhood, Trinity, priest, one that institutes, not quite as warm. But today's readings, I think, can offer us insights of what Jesus has in mind for us for fathering, mothering, and life in general. The readings take us to the shore, a fitting scene as we head into the summer. The ocean has served me, as I imagine many of you, as a connection with God's creation and God's eternal spirit. My memories of the shore are always just standing at the ocean, oftentimes with my father or my siblings. And my dad would say, "How great thou art," awe-inspiring and peaceful. However, today the Old New Testament readings break the serenity of the ocean into a storm. In the first reading, God speaks to Job out of the storm. God is in charge in no uncertain terms, all powerful in running the show. And in the words of Deputy Barney Fife, and don't you forget it. But in Mark's gospel, we come upon another storm. This one comes in the context after Jesus has been preaching through parables to the multitudes along the shore of Galilee. The disciples were enthralled with Jesus' words, inspired by the parables of the seeds, of the poor soil, the lamp under the basket, scattering seed, the mustard seed. I can imagine their peacefulness, their calmness as they were enthralled by Jesus' words. That feeling must have carried with them as they boarded the boats after Jesus invited them to cross to the other side. And then came the storm. Panic, fear. Don't you care? Do something, perhaps calling on the God of Job. Fix this, get us out of here. And Jesus calms the storm, as God did in Job. But the tone is different here. As Jesus says, do you not yet have faith? As if to say, haven't you been listening? Today we're presented with these two images of living through storms. Have God control it, try to control it, or navigate the storms. They're always with us. We're always being called to respond to going to the other side. We're all in the same boat. There are always storms. There's storms that we pray every week we come together in the forms of persecution, physical and mental illness, homelessness, famine, disease, injustice, death, all part of our everyday humanity. And yet in the midst of it all, we have the gift of love. Kathy shared with us on Trinity Sunday a life that God has given to us all. The life of crossing to the other side. Life's never static. It's not something to be fixed. It's always changing, not controlled. The bee creating, the butterfly transforming, and the spirit in the breeze. So what does this have to do with Father's Day? Are we to celebrate the sage advice of fathers through the years, protecting their children and families from harm? Maybe this applied for a few minutes when we first became parents, but I know that I quickly found I wasn't a very good fixer. I wasn't a storm tamer. Father's Day, very simply, is a celebration of love over control. A celebration of getting into the boat, journeying to the other side, and loving each other on the way. Today, I feel an overwhelming sense of love from my wife, Peggy, who I've been in the boat with for 45 years. where we've weathered a few storms along the way. I feel the love of my daughter Maggie is here today, and all my children. I was never able to fix their problems, but we always journeyed onward together. I see it in my children as they take on the roles of mothers and fathers as they journey to the other side. I feel it in the love of my mom and dad, of my sister Ann, my brothers Clark and Tom. You've taught me that there are so many things in life beyond my control, but that we can always love and journey together through the storms. I have an overwhelming feeling of love from the Mary Magdalene community and your boundless and accepting love. It challenges me to venture to the other side. I feel sadness, and today I feel sadness for a friend who's weathering the death of his son, who was murdered a month ago. And yet I feel the power of his love as he continues to serve his community. So let the storms rage on, but along the way, in the words of Thich Nhat Hanh from our second reading, please call us by our true names so we can wake up and so the door of our hearts can be left open. The door of compassion. Happy Father's Day.